Hello, everyone, and now welcome. Oh, wow. Still a little under the weather. Welcome to game number 2 in this series between StarSighted versus Sniq. Game 2 now taking place on Amazonia. Sniq spawning as the purple undead on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the bottom left, we have StarSighted spawning as the teal Night Elf. Night Elf versus undead in this 1v1 as StarSighted did win game 1. Thank you very much for answering that question, Yosh. As we are now moving here into game number 2. I am feeling a little bit more refreshed, so hopefully I don't miss as much of the action, or don't try to keep on calling things acolytes. Now, what are we going to be looking at here? StarSighted, really in game number 1, baffled me with his opening. A Keeper of the Grove opening with a delayed Huntresses with a Tree of Life first. That particular build just absolutely screams to be overrun with Death Knight and Ghouls. I'm not sure why or how exactly it was not punished by the undead player, but I am curious if Sniq is going to make that same mistake twice. It looks like he is training up Ghouls much more quickly, and he is going in for a Death Knight. If he does get a lot of Ghouls, he should be able to punish StarSighted if he tries to go for that same build, but it is definitely not the same build. Instead, this is a counter build to if his opponent tries to go for very, very fast Death Knight and Ghouls. You see that there was a delay in the Altar of Elders, meaning he is going for a Tavern Hero. Tavern Hero is normally, I believe, ready at the 2-minute 15-second mark, I believe. Not 100% sure. Apparently, the Archer likes to go hunting and will be taking down that stag there. And the Archer now is simply waiting for that Altar of Elders to be completed and then wait for the Tavern Hero. The Tavern Hero, you can normally train up your hero slightly faster from an Altar of Darkness, as we are already teching to tier 2 at Halls of the Dead. Now, interestingly as well, Sniq is not going for a lot of ziggurats around his main gold mine. So both sides are not, it looks like this time around, Sniq is not expecting harassment. Meanwhile, StarSighted is expecting to get harassed, hence the Panda opening. And we are already seeing an Ancient of War starting to creep out this particular creep camp. Alright, a minor difference anyways. As we can see, a Rogue may get taken down rather quickly there. There's a Breath of Fire to ensure the kill. As this Panda, oh, is he going to allow that kill? There's the Death Coil, but he is going to pick up that Tome of Agility. I believe the Death Knight did get the experience. Yes, it was 48 experience right there. And the Death Knight just sticking around to try and steal more experience, as we now see a Hunter's Hall being placed down. So far, this Death Knight is just absorbing damage with no course of action, and already down to 470 hit points. He has to be extremely careful now, as the Death Knight once again comes back in. Oh, we may see another Death Coil. The Death Knight may try to just get a hit and a coil, and he does do exactly that. And Sniq does a great job the second time around, able to take a lot of experience from that Panda. The Death Knight perhaps knowing what to do a little bit more, since this is a much more traditional build, as the Death Knight now wanders inside this base. Oh, a beautiful Death Coil, only to be stopped by a Moon Well being built instead. So, beautifully played there, and some great micro. Meanwhile, the Death Knight needs to come back and perhaps pick up a Rod of Necromancy. Without a Rod of Necromancy, wait, no, what is this? He's going for Gargoyles. Okay, no shop, which means, and double Crypts, which means that he is trying to go for a Gargoyle. The Death Knight is just trying to harass his opponent as much as possible, deny any sort of experience. Meanwhile, StarSighted is teching the Tree of Ages. The problem is that there are a handful of archers already out on the field, and the Panda, which is extremely powerful against Gargoyles with that Breath of Fire, is already set up to counter this build. Now, if Sniq is not careful... Oh, wait. Oh, the Moonwell looks like it was canceled just in time. And, oh, another quick heal by that Wisp to make sure that the Death Knight does not gain any extra experience. Down over here, you can see that the Gargoyles are already being trained. Black Citadel is already being teched. No sign yet of any sort of third hero or second hero, as we are teching the tier 2. The Death Knight is just trying to disrupt as much as possible. Gargoyle versus Panda might be good. I don't think so. Once that Panda gets to level 3, or even worse, level 5, it is going to be very, very difficult. Let's go ahead and see. What is this? Meta always preferred it versus Panda first. All right, let's take a look. The Moonwell looks like it will get taken down. No, actually, I'm not sure there. If it was canceled, it is a Moonwell. So when the building is destroyed, you don't actually lose the Wisp, say, unlike an Ancient of some sort. All right, let's go ahead and come back over here. You can see that that Wisp is taking a little bit of damage. The Death Knight already up to, oh, gets another kill there. 2 experience shy, and now the Gargoyles are the hunt for Red Wisp, and a Red Wisp it will be. That Wisp currently stuck between a rock and a hard place, does get a detonation off instead. And now let's take a look at this particular Moonwell. That Moonwell looks like it may get drained rather quickly as the Gargoyles are going after it. The Panda currently just starting to do or finishing up a little bit of creeping, only sitting at level 2 though, so really not that much higher as the Huntress now makes her way over. Alright, level 2 now on the Death Knight. We should be going into Unholy Aura, and with Unholy Aura, that is going to be extremely difficult for the Archers and the Panda to even catch up to this Death Knight. Gargoyles, meanwhile, going after those Ancients and going after buildings. The Panda could come off with a very easy Breath of Fire. I don't believe Stone Form has been researched yet, and we are still going to Black Citadel as we are looking at the Gargoyles still hiding back over here. Ancient Protector trying to be constructed. Archers are all in position to try and protect that Ancient Protector. A little bit of irony, so to speak, as the Gargoyles are now going after or just flying away, preferring not to take any damage at all. Alright, it looks as though another Wisp will get taken down, and now the Archers are trying to protect this Ancient Protector. The Gargoyles are falling back one at a time, and now trying to get microed back down to 18 hit points. It gets focused down, but the Ancient Protector is destroyed or cancelled. Once more, the Gargoyle is still trying to fly back around. It looks as though another Wisp may get taken out. It looks like, no, it is not going to get taken out. Instead, converting into a Moonwell, but the Wisp may still get taken out there. Yes, it does. The Death Knight still sitting at level 2. The Panda sitting at level 2 as well, as the Archers are flying back and forth, trying to shoo away these Gargoyles, and the Wisp are now running once again on the run. Alright, it looks as though another Wisp does get taken down there. More Gargoyles are now backing off as the Death Knight now backs off here, and these Gargoyles need a place to rest, perhaps go into Storm Form and regenerate those hit points. Let's take a look at it. There goes another Wisp, another Gargoyle, very low on hit points, now needs to back off here. Meanwhile, the Death Knight is here as well. So far, let's take a look at these Gargoyles. These Gargoyles are upgraded 2-0, as it was mentioned. Extremely fast tech, as we are now perhaps trying to transition into a new strategy. We still don't see I still don't see a number of key buildings. I still don't see a slaughterhouse. I still don't see a second hero yet. So the Undead is really investing heavily into this harassment, but there's nothing really to seal the deal. The Death Knight still sitting at level 2, hasn't really been able to do very much. You can see that there is a Goblin Shredder now out on the field as well. Perhaps the Gargoyles can go after that Goblin Shredder really easily. There goes one boulder, and the Goblin Shredder is just absorbing a whole bunch of damage, and it looks like one Gargoyle, no, does not get taken down there, and now going after a Wisp instead. It looks as though the Wisp may get taken, or sorry, the Moonwell may get taken down, as we are still flying back and forth. The Death Knight only sitting at level 2, unfortunately not going to be able to heal up those Gargoyles up to full with one Death Coil, but getting them back up to at least 200 plus some odd hit points is definitely going to help. Alright, let's take a look at this. Dryads now with that slow poison coming in. The Gargoyles are still wandering around back to the north. Gargoyles are dealing 20 to 29 damage. Very high damage, except they do not attack very quickly at all. Alright, let's take a look at this. Another Gargoyle gonna get taken down. There it goes, as the Panda, now sitting at level 3, has double Cloaks of Shadow, as the Death Coil does hit the Gargoyles, and the Gargoyles are just trying to hide over here. Apparently, Yosh is saying that StarSighted is just trying to do much. And the Night Elf is just sitting in his base. The Death Knight needs to really be able to level up his hero and do it rather quickly. We are going into a Boneyard now, though, and that means a Boneyard is definitely going to translate into Frostworms. Frostworms, a very powerful unit, but I am curious as to why you would really be going into Frostworms if you know your opponent is already getting Dryads. Those Dryads are immune to magic damage. They do not take any damage from that Frostworm at all, as the Panda does see this Boneyard And what is he going to do in response? Panda, now sitting at level 3, is starting to clear out his opponent's base's creep camps, as we can see a whole bunch of damage being absorbed by all of these poor gargoyles. Death Knight may need to get off a death coil onto that one poor gargoyle there. It looks like he's down to 63 hit points, but he is now over the tree line here, and he doesn't look like he will be falling anytime soon. Death Knight still 1 experience shy from level 3. That would have been a critical play there, as all the gargoyles are still hiding here. There is, I believe, a Zergling on the ground right there. Yep, 1 Zergling, 250 hit points. Yes, I'm sure Zerg players would love to have 200 hit points. That Zergling is going, oh my gosh, what is happening? All right, let's go ahead, head back over to off to the north. The Death Knight may be able to get off this or get this Huntress down. It looks as though the Death Knight trying to catch up to the Huntress, but it's not going to really work out at all. The Panda does not have boots of speed, so won't be able to catch up either. As we are looking at all of the gargoyles here in stone form, they need to lift off. This is going to be a horrible mistake here in just a moment. And yes, they do escape just in time. One of them, unfortunately, takes a little bit of poison spears. Coming back around, where are these gargoyles going to be traveling to next? You can see that there is one Ancient Protector right there. Panda is in position. The Death Knight now accompanied by a Lich who does have that Orb of Corruption. Very well formed. Could he have stone form on the Ling? Oh, that apparently he could have, as the Panda now trying to engage and take down the Kobold Taskmaster once more. Back over here. All right, we are going to go into a little bit of an engagement, trying to take down a Goblin Shredder. It looks like the Goblin Shredder will get taken down, and all of a sudden, StarShaped is actually in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to be low on lumber for quite some time and be forced to try and replace it. The problem, though, or the problem for Sniq, is that Sniq's army, 39/50, is rather well balanced. As well, you can see that there are StarShape's army is well balanced, while Sniq's army is only primarily consisting of gargoyles, which are now healing off to the side. You can see an army of skeletal minions, the Death Knight now coming in as well, and there is a bit of a creepjack. Oh, this could be a very bad play. The Death Knight does pick up a potion of replenishment, and what else is he going to do? The Death Knight now trying to run away. How much damage can he really absorb without falling? And that is going to be a breath of fire onto an invulnerable Death Knight. Not the best play at all, but the Death Knight, not the Paladin, not any longer, has a potion of replenishment, allowing him to regenerate those hit points and that all-important mana. But without a Slaughterhouse, I am still rather confused at what Sniq's strategy, long-term strategy, and long-term unit composition will be. The Slaughterhouse has been a very important backbone of the undead army for so long. Either getting meat wagons or obsidian statues, that not having either of those really does confound me just a bit. Frostrum sitting at 2-0 upgrades, gonna go after that bear rather quickly. There is a very easy bear taken down there, as we can see all of a sudden this one Frostrum taking down the bears, and a scroll of healing once more, counteracting any sort of breath of fire. All right, there is the GG. StarShaped actually losing this one rather quickly. Constant harassment inside the Night Elf base forces a game number 3. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed the first 2 games, and please stay tuned for game number 3.